Hello, welcome to the tutorial. We are going to be talking about how to speed up our computer today. A few items we're going to be going over will be removing some unnecessary programs, doing a disk cleanup, checking our disk for errors, running a defrag on our disk, and recovering some much needed resources by removing some startup items. So let's get started. First on the agenda, freeing up space. So many of you may be familiar with how to do this, but I'm going to talk about it anyways because it's important. It's something we often forget. So to free up space, we want to remove programs that we're no longer using. To do that, you can click on Start and type in Programs. Once you do that, you will see an Add Remove Programs option to the right. We want to go ahead and click that, and then basically this is up to the user here. You need to go through here and find items that you're no longer using. You can see when they were installed, and that may help you, but this is all dependent on whether you use that application or not, and it's important to remove these if you're no longer using them. Basically they use up system services, and they drain your resources. So removing these will also clean up free up some disk space. So that's the first item. Next is doing a disk cleanup. To do a disk cleanup, again, you click on Start, type in disk. It'll be the top option here. Disk cleanup it might look a little different on your computer depending on what programs you have installed. I have a third-party application in here that we'll talk about later. This gives me some other options and automates a few things. So disk cleanup, I'm going to click on that. This is a Microsoft. This is built into Microsoft Windows 7, Windows 8, XP, Vista. If you're using anything older than that, I feel for you. So once this loads, it's going to show you some programs here, or some files, I should say, that can be removed. These are system files, these are user files, and this is usually you can check all of these. There's nothing in here that you're going to check that's going to break your computer. As you can see, I haven't done this in quite some time. I've got to do some cleaning up myself. I'm not gonna run that right now just because it would take a while. So the next option would be, and this is a Windows 8 option. I believe this is in Windows 7 as well. Not sure, but the next option is to clean up system files. So these are related to users. This is related to system. So go ahead and click on System and hit OK. It's going to do a quick scan of your computer, checking your C drive. Your C drive is generally where all of your programs and your user data is stored. As soon as that is up and running, it should give us a similar window to the one we had before with the user data. And go. So there is our window, just like I promised, and as you can see, there's quite a few things here that can be checked off. There's really no reason to keep any of this stuff. I can't see anything here that's really important. Check it all, hit OK, let it run through its process, and you're off and running. So that's the disk cleanup, and that's remove programs. And on to the next item, which would be, let's see, to do an error check, to check your disk for errors. To do that, you can get there by a shortcut, which is the Windows and the E for Echo, and that will pop your computer window open, and you'll have a couple options inside here. The other way to do that would be through the Start menu. Click on Start, and then click on Computer. Same thing. Right click on the C drive, as I mentioned before, click on Properties, and then click on Tools. Inside Tools, you'll have an option here to do an error check. Click on this button here, click Scan Drive. Again, I'm not going to do this because it would take a while. Click on Scan Drive. As you can see, it'll scan and it'll give you the option to clear any errors. This is important for keeping your disk healthy and making it run properly. So that is error check. So the next option would be for defrag, and to do that, Windows 8 is a little bit different. They got rid of the regular defrag. Inside Windows, it's called defrag and optimize. Click on start, click on type defrag, and optimize. If I was to try to click this, it would pop up in a window. That's for running commands through a command prompt. The defrag is still there, it's just not a GUI, it's not a user interface window. So not to digress, but so what we want to click is defragment and optimize. Click on that. I'll give you an idea of what that would look like on Windows 7. So if you were to click on start and then defrag, it would open up a window that looks very similar to this one here. Inside here you'd have two options. You'd have the option to analyze the disk here, or the option to defragment the disk. I would just go ahead and click on defragment, and you'll be off and running. And basically what defragmenting does is the opposite of fragmentation. It may sound obvious, but basically when your computer is writing data to your disk, it doesn't always organize it in the best possible manner because it's trying to write that information as quick as possible to get on to the next task. So what defragmenting does is it scans your disk, and it takes all of that data and organizes it nice and neat, puts it all next to each other. So when your disk spins up and you're trying to find data, everything is neatly organized, and it's real easy to get to for your computer. It just increases the productivity of your hard drive, basically. So inside Windows 8, you'd have a similar option. It does have the option to do this automatically. As you can see, I have it set up to do weekly. If you wanted to run it manually, you can just hit this button here to optimize and follow along with the prompts. So that is defrag. The next item, which most people aren't aware of, this is something that I like to show people just because I think it's a huge benefit for performance increase, and that is to remove startup items. So basically, as you install programs, they come with services. Sometimes these services are unnecessary services, or they're services that got left behind by programs that were uninstalled improperly. And to get to this, it's a little tricky. You're going to hit the Windows and the R key together, so Windows and R. This is going to bring up a run command down here, and we're going to type in msconfig. Msconfig is just short for Microsoft configuration. Then we're going to hit start. Another way to get to your run command is to click start and then click on this little run option right here, and that'll bring you up to the same thing. So Windows and R, or start and run. Inside here you will see a couple of options, and in Windows 8 the startup items have moved to the task manager, but I will show you what this would look like for Windows 7. So normally you'd click on start tab and you would get something that looks very similar to this, and inside here you would have all of these startup items off here to the left. So basically what's happening is your computer boots up and all of these programs boot up with it. So your computer only has so much memory. The more programs that are running with it, the less memory it has for other processes. Therefore your computer slows down. So this is up to the individual user. Be wary in this section here, because if you uncheck the wrong thing, something may stop working. For instance, you could uncheck let's say a driver for your network card. Once you do that and you reboot, now your network card doesn't work. My suggestion is to go on Google and just do a search for whatever the item is, and you can usually find out really quick what it's being used for. A lot of these items are also attached to programs that are installed on your computer. If you can, go back to the first step we talked about and remove some unnecessary programs, It'll also clean this list up as well. So inside Windows 8 it's a little different. It's in our task manager. We can click on here, but we can also go down here. We can right click on this taskbar and then click task manager. Another way to get there is to hit Control Shift Escape, which is a nice little shortcut that goes right to the task manager. And inside here we'll see startup, and Windows 8 breaks it down a little better for us. It even shows us how high of an impact this item is having on our system. So you can organize it by clicking HIS and finding all the high items here. As you can see, I've got Adobe Acrobat and Daemon Tools and a couple other items that are impacting, but these are items that I need, so I'm going to leave them. I've gone through already here and cleaned this up a while ago. So again, this is up to you. You need to find out whether you need these items or not. Inside here you can just right click on it and then say disable. In Windows 7 you're just going to uncheck this box, hit OK. You're going to be prompted to restart the system. Go ahead and restart it at that time, and once it starts back up, test things out, make sure things are working right. If things aren't working right, it could be that you disabled something that you need. So go back and re-enable that and start from there. So that is our startup items, and then let's see, the next item, or the last item on the list is an automated program I like to use. It's called AVG PC TuneUp, and I have this installed. You can find it online. Just do a Google search for it, and basically, let's see, the quickest way for me to get there is just to type in AVG, or let's see, PC TuneUp, and there it is at the top of the list. So what this program basically allows is to automate a lot of the processes that we just talked about that are going to help make your computer run faster overall. So what you can do here with AVG TuneUp is you can check all the items here on the left. Registry errors are also something we haven't talked about. This is something that this program will handle automatically. As you can see, I have not run it yet. I just recently installed this, so what you can do is do this drop down here, click scan and repair. It's going to run through, it's going to check, it's going to go through all these items here, the junk files, the disk errors, the fragmented files, all those things we talked about. It pretty much does everything except for remove programs for you, which is something you want to do on your own anyway, because that's a user choice. So there's other items in here we won't talk about right now, but maybe in a later video. So that's AVG PC TuneUp, and it's a great application. You can also automate processes by setting up like a weekly scan or a daily scan, even if you want, and it'll go through and do all this stuff for you. So you can find that on Google. Just do Google search for AVG PC TuneUp. It's a great application. Again, if you missed any of this tutorial, you can go back, check it out, pause it. If I went too fast, use the space bar. It also works for pausing YouTube videos. So hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and I will see you next time.